It just didn't seem right. I felt like someone doing an imitation of a deer, but getting those tiny details wrong. Like how it moved correctly or how it's supposed to eat.
Lily? I snapped my eyes to the side. I could see her in the distance. Finally, this nightmare was over. We can get her and get the hell out of here.
Still though, why did every photo get corrupted? And why did they look so weird? Hello, and welcome to Elfin National Park. This is a visual novel that was recommended to me by one of the lovely viewers. Thank you very much. Again, when the viewers tend to recommend me stuff, they try to tell me as little as possible. That way I can have super genuine reactions while I'm playing the game. I did see a little bit of the artwork because I had to test everything and make sure it was all running perfectly on the computer. And I actually really loved it. So I'm super excited to sort of jump right in and share this game with y'all. I don't know much about this game, but what I do know is that it's going to be quite the adventure. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am. So let's hop right in and play Elfin National Park. All right. Campsite Elfin National Park, early morning. The air is crisp on a late autumn morning. We've only recently arrived at the infamous campsite. Max, who still looked sleepy, leaned his full weight onto me, despite being too tall to keep using me as a pillar of support. A huff of annoyance escapes my lips. I'm almost certain he's not even really tired and is just doing this because he enjoys it. Though I can't say it's the worst feeling in the world, nothing I'm not used to by now. Oh yeah, my friends used to do this where they would just lean on me, you know? I'm not like super short, but like we're like same height, but they would like lean on me in their full weight just to be annoying. Oh my god. So this is super relatable. Aris! The sound of Lily's voice snaps me back to reality, her voice coming from the back of the car. Quickly, I shake Max's elbow to wake him up. Come on, man. Lowe's needs our help unloading the equipment. It almost takes no time for Max to open his eyes, not even pretending to be asleep anymore, before he lets out a comically long yawn. Okay. Okay, I'm up. Get some coffee for you. We have a long couple of days ahead of us. I point to my backpack in the back seat. Resting at its side was my thermal tumbler, nestled in the side pocket. I watched as Max groggily reached back like a zombie and pulled the tumbler to his lips before recoiling immediately. That's hot. Yeah, dude, it's a thermal tumbler. Rolling my eyes as he half whines and yawns again. Guys, come on, I need help. Taking the tumbler from Max's grubby little hands, I take my own sip of it as I go to help my sister. Luckily, it didn't take too long to reach her. She didn't get very far from the campsite due to the weight of the trail cameras. As we approached, all we could see was her tiny form struggling to carry them. In all honesty, it was kind of funny. If it was anyone else, I would have laughed. But since she was my sister, I quickly grabbed one of the cameras instead as Max followed suit. Lily, you don't need to try and do it all yourself, you know? You're being reckless. I lightly scolded her as Max lets out a nervous chuckle holding onto the other camera. Hey, it's all good. But yeah, we should be careful. My dad would kill me if any of these cameras got broken. Lily had a sheepish smile on her face as she shrugged it off, relieved to have the weight shifted over. Honestly, they look so much lighter than they actually were, she admitted, readjusting the camera in her arms as she led us down the trail. Well, looks can be deceiving. They're a lot heavier than they look. And more expensive than they look. Max muttered under his breath as we came to a full stop so that he could set up the first camera. I nudged him a little bit with my shoulder and put on a small smile. Don't worry, we'll be careful with your dad's stuff. I still wasn't really sure how Max convinced his dad to let us borrow his equipment. As far as I could remember, he always seemed so cagey about letting us just touch any of his stuff. But whatever he did, I was grateful for it. I tried to put it on my most reassuring smile as I could muster. It seemed to have worked as Max appeared more upbeat. We'll get them set up now, and we can spend the rest of the day looking around and taking pictures. Yes! I wanted to see if I can get a deer on camera. Sounds good to me. Just tell me where to put them. Barely any time has passed by the time I was done with my section. The Saturday morning sun still had just barely started to peeking over the tree line. A cool breeze was following through. Honestly, it was nice. It feels like I could stay here looking at this site forever. It's been so hectic. College came and went so fast, and now I'm here preparing for my final thesis statement. It's all coming to an end so fast. Hey, Aris, we're done. Did you finish with your side of things, bud? The train of thought unfortunately derailed and crashed into the trees as I felt an arm wrap around my shoulder. Max and Lily had found me. Lily could spot me trying to hold back a smile and had an annoying amused face on her. Something that shouted, "Heh." Yeah, it's all done on my side. I failed to hold back a smile. Max and his goofball antics are just far too contagious. Perfect. That means we can go around now, right? Check out the sights? Ooh, I wonder what kind of animals there are. I want to see some birds. It was nice to see them so excited. Normally I would just go with the flow, but that final thesis stayed on my mind. I tried my best to be as professional as possible. I'll be taking the pictures. We're going to want to be as careful as we can while approaching any wildlife, okay? Yes. Aye aye. We're going to be sticking with each other the entire time, so there shouldn't be any reason for any of us to get lost. Yes, Professor. But we can definitely check out some birds, right? A smug smile spreads across his face, while Lily's eyes brighten. Yes, if it comes up, we'll take plenty of pictures. Awesome! I tried. I watched them nudge each other and joke around as I took the cameras out of my backpack. It was an old thing, but reliable according to Max. Oh! Max spotted me holding the camera. So that camera is pretty straightforward. You just hold it out. Whenever you're trying to take a picture of, will show on the screen and you just click. Yeah, seems pretty straightforward. Also, if it stops working at any point, just give it a good whack on its side. Okay. Honestly, it felt like if I did it, it would just fall apart right in my palm. Come on, guys. Let's get going. Lils is waiting on us. Alright. Catching up to her, there was a different trail for us to take. Aris, you're the boss man. You pick where we head to first. Well, where do you want to go? Down the south path, up the northern path. Let's go up north. How can I help you kids? Excuse me, I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions about the wildlife here? You kids aren't planning on going past any of these fences, right? He gives us a pointed look. I stumble over my words for a moment. What kind of reaction was that? Nevertheless, I quickly recovered. Of course not. I just had some questions about the wildlife and the fauna. We've had plenty of people trying to sneak into the place. Rumors of some cryptids. Telling you now, everything is completely normal here. This conversation is going nowhere. Better to just look around instead. Well, where do you want to go? Up the northern path? Just keep going? Oh, I guess we can't do that. We'll go down. Caution, bear deer area. We advise all park visitors to avoid making any loud noises. It's an easy way to attract animals to you. Do you think we'll see any deers? I hope so. I think the message we were supposed to get was that it's dangerous and we should be careful. Both of them had the decency to look sheepish, at least. I mean, we know that. Yeah, just saying it would be nice to see some deer is all. I only snorted in amusement as a response as I continued walking, and the two followed close behind as I did. Oh, what's that board for? We spotted a board filled with missing people reports. The posters themselves were haphazardly pinned on. It was like they were considered an afterthought, lazily pinned to the board with some threatening to fly off whenever there was a slight breeze. The one in the middle stood out to me. Lily took it off the board, taking a long look at it, her nose wrinkling. There's a lot of people there. Are we sure this park is safe? I mean, it should be, right, nerdies? Truth be told, there were a lot of nasty rumors about this place online, along all the weird pictures of wildlife here, but it should be fine. We were only going to spend the night here after all. It's fine. Nothing we can't handle as long as we stick together. Most people go missing because they go off the beaten trail or don't stick with their group. As long as we can avoid those two things, we'll be just fine. It was fine. They weren't going to be idiots about this. Well, where do you want to go? Okay, there's a small path on this side. I wasn't quite sure what to make of it. Wait, what the heck is that? What the... Is that a normal deer? I've never seen a deer in my life look like that. At first glance, it seemed like any old deer, the kind you watch online or see in documentaries. I've heard of the deer acting differently in this park, but it was another thing to see it in person. But the closer you watched it, the more it seemed to slip up. I could feel the hairs on my back of my head beginning to stand as I watched. The way it moved, the way it brought its head down to graze. I felt crazy for thinking this, but it just didn't seem right. I felt like someone doing an imitation of a deer, but getting those tiny details wrong, like how it moved correctly or how it's supposed to eat. I calmed myself down. I probably sounded a little crazy there. It was probably nothing, but if it was anything, this would be perfect for my thesis. I needed this picture. Guys, hold still for a moment. There's a deer. Oh shit, really? The deer snapped its attention to us with a focus that made me flinch for a moment. As its cloudy eyes met mine, it took off right after that. I gave Max a deadpan expression. Max. Sorry about that. He had the decency to at least look sheepish. Well, I'm sure it's fine. We can probably still follow it, right? We just have to be extremely quiet and stealthy-like. Yeah, we can still go after it, right? They both look at me with a glimmer in their eyes as I sigh. Might as well try to see where it's going. Maybe we could find some other things to take pictures of as well? Yeah, okay, let's try and follow it. With a nod all around, we head out to go follow the deer. We tried our best to track where it exactly went down, with Max leading the charge. He looked like he was trying to make up for the previous blunder. Eventually we reached the fence, the restricted area just beyond it. Is that... She was hesitant in pointing it out, not like she needed to. There was a large hole in the fence. It's probably big enough for a deer to fit through. Come on, it's probably super dangerous and restricted for a reason, you know? There's probably some type of dangerous animal there, or maybe it goes in and doesn't come out. Lily was frantically trying to come up with different reasons to not go. I wasn't sure if it was because she was actually scared of any potential dangers, or if she just didn't want to break any of the rules. Probably both. I mean, if there is some dangerous animals, it probably escaped by now. Max! I'm kidding, but seriously, it shouldn't be too bad, you know? We just pop in real fast and we go. No one will ever know we were here. In any other situation, I usually wouldn't entertain the idea, but I really wanted to document that deer. I agree. I thought there would anything super dangerous here. It's still open to the general public after all. Lily, finding herself outnumbered by us, gives us a long, exhausted sigh. Um, okay, fine, but, we're only gonna look for a little while. 20 minutes, tops, and then we leave, with or without the picture. I can accept those terms. Sounds good to me. Okay, let's get this over with. It only really took a couple of minutes to figure out, but I was starting to regret this decision. There wasn't anything strange per se. There wasn't even a ranger patrolling as far as I could see. It felt strange. I knew for a fact it was just the three of us right now, but why does it feel like we were being watched so heavily right now? It was suffocating. I made the choice to cut it here. We've been walking long enough. Let's just turn back here. The sound of my voice seemed to have startled them, both of them jumping slightly. Yeah, that was definitely 20 minutes already. We should go. Max looked like he wanted to argue, but stopped himself and just gave a small nod. I guess I wasn't the only one creeped out by this place. As we turned to leave the same way we entered. Oh, there's someone there! Oh, if that's the ranger, we gotta run. No, yes, I don't think so. Looking in the same direction as Lily, I could see them as well. I froze immediately. She looked hurt, like she had been scratched and hit all over. What was even worse was her feet. It looked like she had been walking barefoot this entire time. They were bleeding, covered in bruises. I'm pretty sure some wounds seemed infected. I was surprised she was even still standing. Most shocking was her face. It was the same one from the missing poster. Excuse me, miss? Are you Titania Bailey? The woman didn't even seem to notice us, muttering something under her breath before randomly speaking up. The campsite. I know it's around here, somewhere. Couldn't have wandered off that far. Need to get back. Need to find the girls. Suddenly, jerking her body to the left, she breaks out into a sprint. Her feet on the uneven earth seemed to bend in a way that was sick, but she continued on anyways, as if it never happened. Wait, Mrs. Bailey! Lily moved without thinking, taking off after the frantic woman. Before she could get anywhere, I swiftly grabbed hold of her wrist, stopping her from running off. Are you crazy? You can't run off by yourself. What if we get lost? But she is a stranger to us. We're better off just calling the ranger and letting them deal with it. But she looked like she could fall over at any moment. What if she really needs our help? Okay, we've got two options. Trust me, Lily, we're going to be no help if we get lost as well. Don't be reckless. There isn't anything we can do. We're better off leaving her. Trust me, we're going to be no help. But can't we do anything? I know you want to help Lily, but the situation, the rangers will be more equipped and trained to help her. Lily, the last thing we want is for the rest of us to get lost and end up on those posters. Yeah, you're right. Come on, let's head back and report it to the ranger. Right behind ya. We were all a bit frazzled after that. The next couple of minutes were a blur. We went back and reported to the ranger. Max did all the talking, making sure to leave out the part where we entered in the restricted area. It didn't really seem like the ranger was all too pleased to be hearing any of it. We rested by our campsite. The mood was extremely heavy, but I was glad we were still together at the very least. Max looked the most uncomfortable with the silence. Hey, you know what we're missing? Some marshmallows and hot dogs. Huh? You know, usually when you go camping, you roast marshmallows, make s'mores. If you're feeling fancy, throw some hot dogs in there. Eat them by the campfire. I do remember you packing some. It should be in the tent, actually. Lily, they should be in the tent. Could you grab them? If that's the case, I can go get them. I can get the drinks. I left the cooler in the car. Eddie's, can you start the fire? Naturally, I could. I did my research ahead of time. Yeah, it shouldn't be any problem for me. Just go get the cooler and I'll get it all set up. Luckily, I had prepared ahead of time. Got the dried twigs, the leaves, and placed them in the fire pit. Sadly, Max had the lighter on him, but it was no problem. I've seen plenty of videos on how to start a fire with just twigs. I've seen plenty of videos on how to do this. It shouldn't be a problem. Shit. Calm down, just try again. It is? Hold on, focusing. Shit, why is this so hard? Lily sat there with a small amused smile on her face, as I can hear a snickering. Buddy, it's okay, let me start it. Max took over, starting the fire. It started immediately for him. With a slightly bruised ego, I gave up and sat next to him, as Lily started to put the marshmallows on the sticks. I mean, it is hard for newbies to get the hang of it. Shut up. That just got a laugh out of him as he grabbed my shoulder. At the very least, he was dependable for this kind of stuff. He's lucky he's got a pretty face. Alright, kids. I'm older than you. Let Max, the roast master, show you guys how to roast a perfect wiener and make the best s'more you've ever tasted. The rest of the evening was pretty uneventful, though that was probably for the best, honestly. We all settled down for dinner. Lily got Mom's pre-made stew and instant marshmallow potato in pot on the fire. It was fun. The warm fire mixed with the cold breeze of the night eased my mind. Max showed us how to toast the perfect marshmallow, which was just getting it right before it completely charred up for dessert. It was a lot harder than it seemed. Shit, why is this so hard? Oh my god, that is completely char all the way through. How did you manage that? Hey, I got it. It took a couple tries, but I got there. It was nice though. Honestly, with all of this, I was able to forget about the stress, at the least for a little bit. Oh, before we do, why don't we take a picture? Alright, just make it quick then. There we go. We should probably head to bed if we still want to wake up early. Ooh. But yeah, you're right. Let's head to bed. Lily just nodded, munching on the last s'more Max made for her at the same time. She always had a sweet tooth. Tomorrow we'll probably spend a few more hours here and start heading back home in the afternoon. We all said our good nights as we got into our sleeping bags. I would say we went to sleep immediately, but we stayed up for a while in the tent after the events of today. I keep thinking about her. I hope she's okay. Hey, I'm sure it's fine, Lils. Maybe we can take a look at the picture we took today as a distraction. That didn't sound like a bad idea, honestly. I would like to review what we have so far. Yeah, could be fun. Let me get the camera. I shuffled out of my sleeping bag as my two companions did the same, crowding around me as I pulled it from my backpack. Looking through it, everything was wrong in some way. I frowned at this. Is the camera busted? Max, I don't think the camera works correctly. Huh? No, that's not. It should work fine. These are creepy. On that, I could agree. I was moving between them and sighed. What the hell is happening? This whole trip might be a bust. Hey, guys, can I be honest? Huh? Well, what's up? To be honest, this whole camping ground gives me the creeps. I don't think I can sleep here. Both me and Max looked at each other, mulling it over. Honestly, this whole place was kind of strange. Maybe it was better if we just leave now. Yeah, no, I kind of feel the same. Ever since we went into that weird part of the forest, I feel like someone's been watching me. Maybe it would be better if we just leave? Fuck it. It's okay, guys. We can leave. Wait, really? Are you sure? I laughed a little at that. It was kind of disappointing it ended up this way, but I hit that.
Yeah, I don't think I can sleep here either. Plus, I already have pictures. We can just leave and they sleep over at my place. They brighten up at that, fully getting out of our sleeping bags as we wordlessly move to pack everything up. I think Denny's should still be open. Wanna grab some midnight dinner on our way back? You up for it, Liz? I think I'm craving some breakfast for dinner. Or, well, midnight dinner. Yeah, fair. Alright, grab the stuff, let's go. Packing everything didn't take too much time with all of us. Once we were actually in the car, I let out a breath and I didn't even realize I was holding. I felt like the pressure was taken off me. Mind if I put something to keep me up? As long as it's not something too annoying, you can put on anything. Max only smirked at that, as he fiddled with the radio trying to find a good late night station. I looked back at the campground through the window. It seemed normal enough. I wonder if they'll ever find that woman. I wonder if was anything we missed. I'm just glad Lydia didn't chase after them. An obnoxious song came on the radio. As I shot a glare at Max, he laughed in return. I can wonder about everything later, I guess. Nope, radio privileges have been revoked. Oh, come on, Aries, it wasn't that bad. It was. Peaceful times like this were hard to come by, especially recently. I'll just enjoy it for now. Still though, why did every photo get corrupted? And why did they look so weird? Jesus. Alright. That was our first playthrough. I guess we need to choose some other options. Maybe there's multiple endings. Alright, so let's hop right in, guys, and see if we can get a second ending. Okay, so what we did is we went down south and then up north. So essentially we saw the missing people's poster, and then we went to go see the ranger. And Lily spoke, and I picked a couple different options. So now we're here, and we woke up, and it's different, because I think last time we all woke up and then we looked at the picture. I was being shaken awake. God, what time is it? I felt heavy. Huh? I just wanted to head back to sleep, but he wouldn't stop shaking my shoulder. I opened my eyes groggy, beyond all hell. Max? Aries, you need to get up now. She's not here. Huh? What are you talking about? What's going on? Jesus, can't this wait till morning? Max looked annoyed. He grabbed both my shoulders and spoke louder. I can't find Lily anywhere. She's been gone for over an hour. I jolted awake immediately, getting out of my sleeping bag. Any notion of grogginess melted away as I got up. Start over? What happened? I heard her getting up. When I asked, she said she left something and needed to find it. I don't know. Then why didn't you go with her? What if she got kidnapped? I was thinking about that. I just thought she left something outside and will pop back in at any moment. I clicked my tongue in annoyance. I can see Max flinched away as I did. I didn't have any time for this. I needed to find her. Putting on my jacket, I crawled out and got up. Max followed me. Listen, I'm sorry. I wasn't... Just hold on. Let me think. Did you see what direction she went off in? No, I tried looking around. When I couldn't find her anywhere, I went to get you. Shit. This was the worst case. I could feel my nerves rising. What the hell happened? What could I do? Think, Aries, think. Shouldn't we call one of the rangers? Maybe they can see it on the back cameras if she was anywhere? No, that would take way too long. Wait a minute. The trail cameras. Looking at each other for a moment before we both scrambled for the PDA in the backpack. I ripped it open and grabbed it immediately. We both crowded over the device in my hand as I brought it up to the trail cameras. I stopped the recordings and opened up their files, trying to fast forward through the footage till... Wait, go back, she was there. Rewinding the footage, we could see her on the camera. Thank God, it didn't look like she was kidnapped. What direction was she heading? She went past the trees, but the only thing in that direction was, well, it was the fence with the hole in it. Aries, is it just me, or is she holding her arm? Is she hurt? This was becoming a bigger and bigger issue. We had to find her now. If we didn't, she could... Aries, we have to call the ranger, or the police, or something. I don't know. No, we need to find her now. She could be delirious or something. We already wasted time. What if we get lost too? Weren't you saying that earlier? We need help. I know what I said earlier, but this is different. Lily's my family. Max, please. It looked like he wanted to argue more, but just let out a frustrated yell. Fine, let's just go into the scary woods again, I guess. But if we can't find her by morning, we have to call the police, okay? Fine, just go. We both headed into that damned place again. Seriously, what could have made Lily go there? Was she looking for that lost woman by herself in the dark? None of it made any sense to me. This was getting more desperate by the second. We were practically sprinting through the woods looking for any trace of Lily. We weren't any closer to finding her. Should we split up and cover more ground? We came to a stop. My heart was pounding in my chest and in my ear. No! Taking a moment to catch my breath. I don't want to look for two missing people in case we can't find each other afterwards. Shit, damn it. I just want this to be over already. I felt the same way. Being here felt suffocating. Like I wanted to shrivel up and hide under a rock. The feeling of being watched returned to me. It felt like it was drilling into me. Shit. Do you hear that? Max, it's probably some animal. I felt Max tug on my arm. His face froze up as he stared ahead of him and turned to see where I could see why. It was the deer again. In the distance, its eyes were looking in our direction. It didn't seem like they were focused. Just cloudy eyes that didn't seem to pay us any mind. My throat dried up immediately. Pulling away from Max's grip, I dug into my pockets trying to get the camera out quickly. My hands were so shaky. I took the picture. The screen looked horrifying. What the hell was I looking at? It looked almost nothing like a deer. Its skin was covered in different branches and antlers growing out of its body in weird proportions. I had all the care of a child putting it anywhere he could, and the realism made it sick. And it was getting closer, slowly but surely. I grabbed Max, snapping him out of it, and pulled him along as we ran. Just run! We have to get out of here! I could hear it chasing us, going into a full sprint. We ran as fast as we could through the trees. I felt myself trip over a branch, hitting the ground with a sickening thud before Max was pulling me back, begging me to keep going. I had to, but where? To the left, towards the clearing, need to avoid tripping again? To the right, into the denser part of the forest, where I can hide. To the left, towards the clearing, need to avoid tripping again. I felt like my lungs were on fire. I couldn't keep up anymore. Max, please, I can't. I tried to choke it out, as Max kept trying to pull me along more forcibly than before, but I only ended up tripping over myself, landing on the floor again. Max finally looked up at me, wanted to say something but promptly shutting up. His horrified look was the last thing I saw before I... Oh, so I guess the first one we just die. Running to the right, we were barely able to keep our footing as we kept going. It sounded like the deer was slowing down, having to navigate the trees and the roots sticking out, threatening to trip it up. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw a place to hide. Was that really a good idea in this situation? Of course not. The foliage here is the perfect chance to get a head start on it. I can't keep this up forever. We have to hide somewhere. It was perfect. At least I thought it was. Pushing through the foliage was no problem for us, but the deer wasn't too far from us either. Despite it tripping over itself earlier, it had gotten more comfortable with the terrain now and gained back its speed, ripping through the foliage. I could see it. Despite the branches digging into its deer's skin, drawing blood, it ignored all the pain to reach us, feeling more like a machine than an animal. What the hell made it like this? This wasn't natural. I don't know what the hell this thing was. This was my last conscious thought before I could feel its answer piercing my back. My own scream seemed distant and foreign to me as I felt something fade away. I can't keep this up forever. We have to hide somewhere. I grabbed the arm Max was using to force me along and pulled it as hard as I could to the side. Max was disoriented by the sudden force, but still high on adrenaline. Shut up and follow. I practically barked it out as I dragged him to where I thought I saw a hiding place. It was a small area where a tree was uprooted and on its side. Despite its size, it looked like it could hide the two of us. We stayed at its base. We finally had a chance to catch our breath. My heart was threatening to burst out of my chest for pushing him so hard. I felt like I could feel blood in my mouth. I heard the sound of hooves hitting dirt still before stopping completely. Shit, did it know where we are? Can it smell us? Fuck, we need to get out of here. We have to stay hidden. I wasn't going to wait here and die. Leaning over, I could see the deer still trying to look for us. Its head jerking around for any sign of life. I carefully got up, Max following closely behind as I tried to run once more. I didn't get very far with the crunch of the leaves under me giving me away immediately. I wasn't sure what happened after that. All I could process was hooves crashing down onto me as Max's screams got louder. Slowly but surely, Max's voice faded away along with everything else. We have to stay hidden. We stayed where we were. I covered my mouth with my hands. I was trying so hard to control my breathing despite my lungs panting and begging for air. I felt dizzy from it. We have to get out of here. We have to run. Let's get the hell out. Stay calm and control your breathing, dumbass. I swore it looked in our direction, but it didn't seem like it was focused on us. It turned its head away, and its ears went up hearing something else before galloping away. A moment passed, then a second one did. And then I breathed, gasping for air as it was introduced back into my lungs, Max grabbing a hold of me. I didn't realize it, but I was leaning on him now. I hadn't even realized it, but I lost my balance. We stayed there for a while, taking in deep breaths as Max held on to me. His grip was tight, as if he was saying to me silently he wasn't going to let me go. We stayed there for a while, holding on to each other. What the hell was that thing? I don't know, maybe some type of weird mad cow disease for deers? Maybe something? I don't know. He looked more scared at the fact that I didn't know what it was more than anything else. You have to know something, right? I mean, you study these types of things, right? My brain was trying to look for any kind of reasonable answer that was just to what just happened, what we saw, and what the whole chase was. There wasn't any kind of reasonable answer I could think of. Nothing like this ever showed up in nature like this. Is that why they kept this place off limits? Yeah. Listen, Aris, you have to go back and get home. I snapped. What the hell are you talking about? Lily's still here. I know, but the thing was... Listen to me. Lily could be seriously hurt in this forest somewhere, and you just want to leave her here? No, I don't want to leave her here, but... You're the one who let her go by herself, and now you just want to leave her to die? Shit, Aris, no, I didn't say that. Then we're going to keep searching for her. At least I am, unless you're going to leave us both here. We keep going. I took his silence as acceptance, and we kept moving. We didn't say much after that, but that was fine. Staying quiet helped us a lot more here. We continued through the forest, stepping over large roots before we stopped in our tracks. We could hear digging? Lily? I snapped my eyes to the side. I could see her in the distance. Finally, this nightmare was over. We can get her and get the hell out of here. Lily! We got close to her, the dense foliage making it hard to run, but as we broke free from it, I ran down the hill. Lily, are you hurt? What happened? Why the hell did you run off? Max grabbed my arm, holding me back. The sudden movement almost made me lose my balance as I looked back confused. It was hard to describe Max's expression. It was a mix of disgust and horror. Lily was looking up at us. Her usual sweet demeanor was nowhere to be found. Her skin was sickeningly smooth and shiny. I looked exactly like her, but nothing like her at the same time. I felt like someone took everything that made Lily her and removed it, only leaving a shell of what she once was. Lily? Alright, guys. I think that was all the endings. I tried all the different routes, and all of them just ends up to death. And black. It's just like a black page, and it just restarts you. So, like, no visuals or anything of your death. But yeah, guys, that was Elfin National Park. It was kind of scary. The thought that there's like this creature that's sort of imitating wildlife, and I guess in this case it was imitating Lily. And I imagine that we probably died there, because I can't think of another ending that would possibly happen. It kind of explains why a lot of people have been going missing. This thing's like hunting people down. Super creepy. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.